Hi, this is Danny from Danny'sDesigns.com, and today I wanted to show you a project that I made for Administrative Professionals Day that's coming up on April 22nd. It's a little stand that holds note cards. These measure 3 inches by 5, and I have them monogrammed. There's a little pouch on the front, and I put an easel on the back so that it can stand up and sit on people's desk. I thought that was really cute, so I thought I'd show you how to make it. The base of it comes from the Project Life framelits. I use this largest one here to create the base. For that I have a big piece of Sahara sand cardstock. It measures 4 1/4 inches wide. And this measures, let's see, about 6 1/4 inches. You don't need one quite, you don't need it full 11 inches, but I just didn't cut it down. So to cut this out, you're going to need your magnetic platform, cutting sheet, put your cardstock down, and put your framelit and your top plate. Now you need to remember, it looks like it's going really close to the edge, but the cutting edge is actually on the inside lip. So if this hangs over a little bit off the side of the cardstock, you'll be just fine. So put that top plate on and run it through the Big Shot. And once you're done, you have a piece of paper that looks like that. Okay, I also have a piece of Designer Series paper. This comes from the Something Borrowed Designer Series paper collection. And this piece of paper, let's see, I cut this one at 4 1/4 by 6 1/2 inches. Again, I'm going to run it through the Big Shot using the same framelit to cut that out to decorate the front of it. Okay, once you're done, both pieces are exactly the same, and you want to adhere them together. So just put adhesive on the back of the Designer Series paper. Line that up. And just press them together. Okay. For the easel part on the back, we have another piece of Sahara sand cardstock. This measures 3 1/2 inches by 11 inches. And you're going to need your scoring tool. With the 11-inch side going across the top, we're going to score this at 4 inches, 5 1/4, 6 1/2, and 10 1/2 inches. Okay. And for the front pouch part, the piece that makes this little pocket that the cards go in, you need another piece of Sahara sand cardstock. This one measures 7 1/4 by 3 1/4. And for this one, with the 7 1/4 inch side going across the top, we're going to score it at 3 1/4, 3 1/2, 6 3/4, and 7. Rotate it so the 3 1/4 inch side's going across the top. You're going to score it at 2 3/4 and 3. And that's all the scoring you need to do. Okay, now that we're done scoring, we're going to take our scissors, and you'll see that in this piece over here we have 4 little squares where our score lines intersect. You want to cut out the section with all 4 of those squares. And then we have this wider section that has the 2 score lines. And right here where this score line is, you're going to remove, again, these 4 sections right here. So cut up on the first score line to the second, this score line up to the second one. And on the second score line, cut all the way across. So you're cutting off 4 more little sections right there. Then what you want to do, get your bone folder, and we're going to fold on all the score lines and burnish that. Okay, and we're going to do the same thing for the easel part. This first fold's going to be this way, and then as you can see, it's going to be like a valley, mountain, valley fold. So fold the first score line that way, and then this next one's going to come back the other direction. And we're going to burnish that. This one's going to go again the other direction. Burnish that, so there's our base right there, makes a W. And then we're going to fold this one to the inside. Now we need some fast fuse. We're going to put it on this little half inch piece right there. And you're going to attach these two together. Make sure they line up right at the top. And that's our easel. Okay, for this piece right here, you want sticky strip. I'm going to use sticky strip because the fast fuse is a little bit too wide. We're going to put a piece right here and a piece across the very bottom section. Once you're done putting on your 2 pieces of sticky strip, it should look just like this. And while our box is, the little pouch is still flat, we're going to take a piece of designer series paper. This one measures 3 1/4 by 2 3/4. This is also from the Something Borrowed designer series pack. Put some snail adhesive on the back. And this section right here is going to be the front of our box. And this piece of designer series paper just goes right in between all those score lines. It's the same size as the front of the box. There isn't a border of cardstock around it. Since this is going to be our back, we need to add 2 more pieces of sticky strip there. We need to have 1 piece going across the top and 1 across the bottom. Okay, and now we can assemble our box. To start with, you want to remove these 2 pieces of the backing off the sticky strip. Okay, fold these around, and where these 2 pieces meet on the back, you're going to press the 2 corners together and let it stick in that sticky strip. This is going to be your side. You're going to fold it up and over. Make sure you put that all the way into the corner right there. Fold it over into place. And press it down. Okay, so there's our front. It's a small little pouch. In this one that I did here, this has about 12 to 15 of these little note cards in here. But there is still room for plenty more, so you can put quite a bit in there, even though it is only 1/4 inch wide. Next, I'm going to add a piece of Marina Mist cotton ribbon. This is about 12 inches long. I'm going to wrap it around the box and tie it in a little knot off to the side. And then trim the edges of the ribbon. To embellish it, you're going to need a scrap piece of Marina Mist cardstock and a scrap piece of Whisper White cardstock, and you're also going to need the pansy punch. Okay, with the pansy punch, go ahead and punch one out of the Marina Mist cardstock and one out of the Whisper White. And for the Whisper White cardstock, I have my Marina Mist ink. And I'm just going to sponge some color around the edges. Set that aside. I'm going to add a little bit of adhesive to the back of the Whisper White flower. And I'm going to put this on top, but I'm going to offset it so that the blue shows between the petals. And for the center of my flower, I'm going to use my Something Borrowed embellishments. And to adhere this on, I'm going to use glue dots. Press that right into the middle. And once you're happy with the placement, just press it into place. And on the back, I'm going to add 2 dimensionals. And I like to, when I do my dimensionals and they're going over the top of ribbon, I like to have one dimensional on the top and one on the bottom so the ribbon goes through. That way when I place it down and press it into place, if I'm not happy with the ribbon, I can still rotate the ribbon around and move it underneath there and the dimensionals aren't sticking it into place. I'll trim that one a little bit more. Even those up a little bit. Okay. Now that we're done with that, we can bring our base back in. Flip it over to the back and remove these two pieces of sticky strip, or the backing off of the sticky strip. Going to center it onto the back. I try to make sure that the border on the left and right and the bottom sides were about equal. And then to press it into place, I just use my bone folder, put it down in there and press that sticky strip into place. Okay, for the easel, you can take this and you can flatten it out. And for this, I'm going to go ahead and use fast fuse because I really want this to stay. This is what's holding everything together. And what I did was I stood it up like this, took my base, centered it on the easel left to right. Hope you can see that. So I'm centering it left to right. And then I just rolled it up and pressed it into place. And that way the bottom was lined up and everything was just where it needed to be. Now for the cards, like I said, I have little 3x5 cards. Got a couple of blank ones right here. And for the stamping, I use the Sophisticated Serif stamp set. This is from the Occasions mini catalog. If you open it up, you'll see it comes with two different font sizes. And for mine, I'm using the larger font, using the M. And I'm also using some of these floral images that come with the stamp set. So I've mounted my letter M, because this time I want to do M, on my block, and I put one flower image on each side. That way I can just stamp everything all at once. Now my block is bigger than my stamps are, so you have to be careful not to press your ink pad in there and get a nice line of ink that will then stamp onto your little 3x5 cards. Make sure it's inked up nicely. And this block is about the same width. It's about 3 inches across. Gonna stamp that, press it down. See, you got a nice line right there. You don't want that. And there we go. Stamp as many of those as you would like. I've got a stack that I already did. I'm gonna add these to it. Oh, there it is. Slide it down inside my pocket, and I've got a gift ready to go for Administrative Professionals Day, for any, any friend, teacher. This would be great for any type of occasion. It's quick, simple, and I think it turned out really cute. Thanks so much for stopping by.